everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here or just stopping by, hi, hello, my name is Jennifer. I'd love it if you stuck around and subscribed. My makeup came out like hella dark today, but if you want to see how to get it, this video went up last week on my channel. I think I called it like melted chocolate, chocolatey, smoky eye, something like that. Something. But this video, before we get into it, because I love watching these videos. I'm a very nosy person naturally. I freaking love creeping around other people's lives. I love watching vlogs. I love watching like all that stuff, okay? If I get to see like a snippet of your life, I'll watch it. I'm nosy. But I do always know that videos like these can be misconstrued as bragging or showing off what you have and stuff like that. And I want to make it clear that that is not what this video is. I personally, in a million years, would have not ever filmed this video, but this was requested. I wish I could put up who requested it. If I can find the comment, normally when I get a request on my YouTube videos, I will just screenshot it so I have the comment and whoever posted it, but I think it got deleted. If I have it, I'll put it up on the screen now. If not, I'm really sorry, but somebody requested this a very long time ago and I'm just now getting around to it. This, you already know from the title, but still, this is the palettes I have in my collection, my current makeup palettes. Most of these, almost all of these, are eyeshadow palettes. Let's get into it. Also, if you like this sweater, I'm freaking digging it. On camera it kind of just looks like I'm wearing a cardigan buttoned up, but it is a sweater. My mom got it for me for Christmas. It is like a crop sweater with like the little tie situations, and the back of it is the coolest part. The back of it's like laced out on top. Super cute. But anyway, let's get into the video. So I have 5 stacks overall of my makeup palettes, all of them set out in front of me, and 2 full stacks of these are, I'm getting rid of them. Whether I give them away to somebody in my family that might want them, friends that might want them, selling them, something, I want to get rid of these palettes. Keep that in mind, okay? So, in no particular order, just like how I'm pulling them out. This, I think, is the only palette I have anymore that's not an eyeshadow palette. This is a blush palette from Revolution. This is their Ultra Blush palette in Sugar and Spice, and mine broke. But this is a super pretty, it has a bunch of peachy pink shades, and then these 2 on the ends are very luminous blushes that, why did I hold it like that? These are all super freaking pretty and reflective. I don't wear blush every day, hardly ever will I put on a blush, but when I do, I like having options. So I have this. I don't know if I'll ever get rid of this. I just really, I'm grabbing a towel because I'm apparently gonna swatch shit out of every palette. But I just really like this palette. This was super affordable. I believe these are like $10, and they do have one that are more neutral and not so pink and peach. This is from Beauty Gems, and this is their highlighter face palette, maybe? It says it has highlighters, 3 highlighters, 2 illuminators, and 3 blushes. This was super affordable. I remember ordering this from Ulta. I think this was under $10. It's just super pretty. There's a more gold and a more white champagne-y highlight. I guess illuminators are considered like cheek toppers. But this is super cute, and this is one of the things I want to get rid of just because I don't use it as much as I should. This bad boy, I remember when this launched, and this was like a huge thing because it was like a knockoff Naked palette from the drugstore, like that you could go to a CVS and buy. This is the L'Oreal La Palette Nude #1. This is super nice. I used it. It doesn't look like it, but when you have a lot of makeup, like, they're super pretty, they're pigmented, they're blendable. I just don't reach for it very much. And if these palettes, by the way, look funky, for the longest time I would do my hair at my makeup desk, and I use a lot of hairspray, so there's hairspray coated everywhere, but I will be getting rid of that one as well. This is from Anastasia. You guys have seen this in my videos a lot. I love this thing. This is the Aurora Glow Kit. I definitely bought mine at TJ Maxx. No shade. I freaking love this. My most used shade is probably, look, it's so dirty. That's just off the palette. My most used shade is probably Luna or Helia, whatever. I mainly bought this because I thought when I was doing Halloween videos or a super specific video, I had some colored highlighters. You know what I mean? Also, a lot of this is ColourPop. I have a lot. I thought I had more than that. I might. I don't know. I really like ColourPop palettes. Some of these are just super near and dear to my heart. Why is that not closing? Pants just fell out of that. I don't remember where these went either. Well, that's gonna be fun when I go to do a video with that, and I can't even tell you what shade I'm using because that one's still intact. Where's the other one? Oh, it's right here. This one is not. Okay, so that sucks. That's never really happened to me before. That's terrible. But anyway, we're not gonna try to go by brand, but I have the My Little Pony palette. If you've been here, then you know that I use this shade constantly as an inner corner highlight. California Love was in my 200 subscriber giveaway. This is a super pretty warm tone eyeshadow palette. And then I also have, I am so snotty and stopped up if I'm breathing hella heavy and snotting through everything. I'm so sorry. I also have I Think I Love You, and I believe the other one I had was Double Entendre, but I got rid of that one already. ColourPop palettes are awesome, and their packaging is just so cute all the time. This is also my 200 subscriber giveaway. This is Juvia's Place Mini Nubian palette. I just now realized that these are pressed pigments and these are just regular eyeshadows. So that's cool. This is $10. It is super cool. If I, you know, actually traveled or went somewhere, I feel like this would be awesome because it's just so tiny and it has everything for a daytime look, or you could smoke it out and, you know, do something cool. This palette makes me upset every time I look at it. I believe it was one of my very first requests, and I could do the video, but I'm not going to. I had somebody request that I tried out Rude Cosmetics, which, I mean, I very well might try it out in the future, but I can only find this on Amazon, Rude Cosmetics. And I really want, if I'm gonna do a brand video where I'm trying something out and they have a full range, I want to try like face products, lip products, eye products, everything. And I can never freaking, my eyelash just popped up from where my eyes are watering, but I can never find face products in my shades. But this is the Lingerie Collection Naughty Night 16 Pan Matte Eyeshadow Color from Rude Cosmetics. I use this a lot in my Halloween videos. This is an awesome colorful rainbow palette, and I believe this was like 20 bucks, but if you know, you could find stuff cheaper than that that's very similar, but that was for a requested video. This was limited edition, but I think you can still find this around. I think just the other day I saw this on Ulta, like the whole Pac-Man collection. This is the Game Over color palette from Wet n Wild and Pac-Man. This is amazing. Oh my god. I freaking love this. I have used some of these shades like to damn death, but I freaking love it. My favorite one is probably this glittery highlight situation. I really like glittery highlighty shades, but that was excellent. I have the Mini Controversy and the Conspiracy palette from Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. I don't get a lot of use out of this one. Now that I'm looking, I think honestly I've only ever used the two blues out of here and maybe my boyfriend's purse, but I just don't get a ton of use out of this. This isn't something that I bought like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use these colors a ton. This is more of a collector's item. These two are my first in my only Jeffree Star eyeshadow palette. So the Conspiracy palette is just, I mean, everyone, if you like the beauty community, you know about this palette. I'm trying to figure out how to hold it up where the mirror is not killing you, but this palette is so pretty. Oh my god, I need to play around in it more. I've done several videos using it, but I do need to use this more. This was so expensive. I think this might be the most expensive palette in my collection. I have, is that it? I have, holding them up weird, I have 3 Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, and these are actually ranked from my favorite to my least favorite. I have Alyssa Edwards palette, and I bought this when it launched, and I knew Alyssa Edwards was a drag queen, but I, you know, didn't really know anything else about it. But I've recently started watching RuPaul's Drag Race from the beginning, and I have to say, Alyssa Edwards, I'm on her season right now, her first season. I think she actually comes back, I don't know, but bitch. There's a video of me trying it out for the first time, and I was like, man, I really don't get some of these shade names like back rows, and now that I'm watching it, it makes this palette so much better. But this is an excellent palette. I freaking love it. I of course have the Modern Renaissance palette. I went pretty ham on this at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of last year. And then lastly, I have the Subculture palette. This palette is, I wanted to like it, okay, but I don't in any way, shape, or form at all. I have the Naked Smoky and the OG Naked, and this is not the remastered Naked. This is like, it's been through some shit. This is my very first like big palette. Actually the very first high-end makeup palette I ever got is in here. We'll get to it in a minute, but this was a huge thing when it came out, and I don't really understand why. I feel like if this was to be not like the remastered one that actually came out, this exact palette, I feel like if someone tried to release it today, it would catch a lot of flack because there are only 2 matte shades and the rest of them are shimmery and glittery, but it's still a good palette. I have the Naked Smoky palette. This is super pretty, cool toned business. We're gonna run through this really quick. These are all the palettes that I have in my collection that I'm going to get rid of. So let's start with that. Let's go through these quickly. The Urban Decay Black palette, I got this for Christmas a few years ago. I really do like it. Some of these shades are super cool, like Cobra and Libertine. They're all just blackened shades. There's a gunmetal, black, blue, like this weird green gold reflect, an actual green, and a purple. This was super cool, but despite how my makeup looks right now, I have moved away from wearing super dark makeup like that every day. I have the Violet Voss and Laura Lee palette. I was pretty hot and heavy with this for a little bit, and I've just kind of moved away from it. I found eyeshadows that I like a lot better than this formula. And on the same turn, I have the Violet Voss Pro palette. Is that what it's called? Yeah. My mirror broke in it, but same situation. The 2 palettes are actually pretty similar to me. They're just warm tone palettes. Those are like a dime a dozen, honestly. Everyone has one, but I found shadows that I like the formulation of better than this. These, I don't even remember what these were called, but CoverGirl released these big palettes. They're not big, but you know, like for drugstore, these are pretty big. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 shades in each of them. They released 4, which were Reign, Ascension, Revolution, and Overthrown. I honestly bought them to try them out as a first impression, and the packaging on these guys is so, can you even see that? That's like lacy. It's so pretty, but the pan sizes are weird. They have there's not a lot of, the pan sizes aren't very big, and they're very awkwardly placed in the palette. I don't get why they did it like that, but it's whatever. And these shadows just aren't anything special. Some of the pans are smaller than the other ones, and I couldn't get with the program with these, so I want to get rid of those as well. The Hard Candy Matte Eyeshadow Palette, Pro Palette. I went on a crazy hunt, I remember, for a red burgundy shadow, and that is the whole reason I bought this. It's fine. It's nothing special. I have a bajillion eyeshadows to dupe these. So the Profusion Naturals palette, I bought 3 of these big palettes from Profusion, and I think I have 4 overall, and these just don't, there's so many of these light shades and not a lot going on down here, and most of these dark colors are all shimmery, so I just wanted to get rid of it. I know it's called Naturals, it's meant to be like an everyday palette, but I just can't get with the program with it. A lot of these palettes you guys have probably seen in my videos before, so that's good. This being one of them. This is the Revolution X Pride. I love the packaging on this. This is so pretty, but I have a video on this from June, right? It was either June or July, whenever Pride Month was. I cannot remember right now. And I really wanted to like this palette. I bought it as soon as it launched. I thought it was going to be awesome, and the formula and pigmentation of these just kind of suck. So if I were to keep it, it would just strictly be as a collector's item. I have the ColourPop Element of Surprise palette. I never really got a ton of use out of this either because all of these shades are pretty similar to me. Really the only standouts are the pink, honestly. So I'm getting rid of that. Makeup Revolution Mermaids Forever palette, same thing. These look super good. But in reality, they're just not very good eyeshadows in my opinion. You can find stuff that's way more pigmented and blendable for the same price. This is the Crown Beauty Glam Metals palette. This is a pretty sick palette. I do like it, but the problem with me and this palette is the black metal shade is the only matte shade. I also have, I have no clue what this is called. It's by Crown Beauty though. There's no other name on it. And it's just a warm tone shadow palette. These shadow pans are humongous, but I just never got around to liking it or using it a ton. These are from Too Faced. I have the I Believe in Pink and the Natural Beauty palettes, and I believe, yeah, these come with a like blush situation and 6 eyeshadows a piece. I think this one's the same one. Let me check though. Yeah, and these are just not my style. They're not something I would want to use. So these are all palettes I'm going to be getting rid of hopefully soon. I have the Morphe 350 palette. This was the first Morphe palette I bought. Oh, it's what's on my eyes today. Actually, I pulled it out to get some of these brown tones because even though this is a super warm palette, there are cool tone shades in it, which is what I wanted today. And I have to say, I just really like that palette. That was like a super iconic palette. I have the Ace Beauty Grandiose palette. This has been in a video before. These like burgundy pinky red shades are my life. I love them so much. So we have that. This is the Profusion Festival palette. This palette's been through some shit. This is considered like a rainbow palette. It does have quite a few shades. They're in rows. There's this whole section of matte, yellow, orange, pink, purple, and then blues, and then some shimmery neutral shades. The only thing I wish is that this had greens in it and a matte black. There's a shimmery black in it, but this palette is excellent. I think it's like $13. I love this palette. And keeping in, I do have 2 other Profusion palettes, and now that I'm looking at it, I think I'm getting rid of one of these. I have the Profusion Mattes. I love this palette. On a day-to-day basis, I mainly wear a few matte eyeshadows and then literally just put a shimmer in my inner corner. This is excellent for this. It has a more warm tone side, but a more neutral, cool tone side as well. And I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. This is the Sultry palette. I think I just broke my nail. It's okay. This is just really pretty. It has a row of greens, like 3 green shades, blue, purple, but most of it's neutrals. And some of these glittery shades look beautiful in here. I think I actually have it put back in my keep pile so I can play with it a little bit more. This is a super nice palette. Profusion eyeshadows are very nice. They're pigmented, blendable, and everything. The only thing really is that they do have fallout, but that's not really a rare thing. So I have the Morphe and Jeffree Star and the Morphe and James Charles palettes. If you've watched my channel, not even so much the James Charles palette, mainly the Jeffree Star palette. I use the fuck out of this palette. I'm a sucker for Kelly greens, burgundy shades, neutrals, warm tones. There's so many pretty shimmers. This whole row right here, I just spit like crazy. But this entire row right here is just beautiful light colored shades. I love this palette. Honestly, it's probably my favorite palette that I get the most use out of. Like for day to day, I really, really enjoy this palette. I'm really happy I have it. And then the Morphe and James Charles palette. I literally don't use this very much because even though there are a lot of really pretty shades in here, it just doesn't have everything that I would want, you know what I mean? And on top of that, it is ridiculously big. Like, there is no reason for this to be so fucking big. I don't really care about mirrors being in my palettes. I very rarely use the mirrors when they are in a palette, but this palette is just so freaking big, and some of these shades suck. The pigmentation and the blendability on them just don't, I just don't like them. So I don't use it a ton, but I do have it because it is a very big cult favorite. And the last thing, my last palette, this, okay, so for those of you that don't know, I will be 25 in February of this year, and I have loved makeup and done crazy, outlandish, just had, why is my chest so red? Crazy. Anyway, I've loved makeup. Honest to God, loved it. It's been my biggest hobby for 12 years now, 12 or 13 years, and I used to not even know about Ulta. I mainly shop at Ulta for makeup now, or like at a regular drugstore. I don't really go to Sephora a lot, but back in the day, I didn't know Ulta existed, and I thought Sephora was like the end all be all. If you wanted to be cool, if you wanted to have awesome makeup, you had to shop at Sephora. And I begged and begged and begged my mom to take me to Sephora and buy me stuff for my birthday and Christmas. I always wanted stuff from Sephora, and we don't have a Sephora or an Ulta near us. They're like 45 minutes away. But for my 14th birthday, my brother had taken me to a Sephora store, and he said I had $50 and I could buy anything I wanted as long as it was $50 or under, and to go for it and I could get whatever I wanted. And I ended up with this palette and I think something else, but obviously I just can't get rid of this. This is so expired, it's not even funny. Like I said, I will never use this again on my face, but it's just a memory now. This is the Urban Decay Ammo palette. If I ever see it again, I will buy it and start using it again because I loved it so freaking much. These are all, literally every single shade in here is a shimmer shade, which kind of sucks, but back in the day I didn't care. And when I first learned about blending, bitch, I would put every single one of these colors on my eyes and just blend until there's nothing left. This was my favorite shade. I need to purchase just that eyeshadow shade, Maui Wowie. But this palette, oh my god. So many memories. I will never get rid of it. So thank you, David. Thank you again for buying me my first high-end makeup palette. Look at what you've started. I have way too much shit in here. These are all my makeup palettes, and like I said, I am getting rid of quite a big chunk of them. So no hate over here for me, please. Thank you. If you saw any palettes, even if they're in the giveaway pile, get rid of pile that you want to see a video on, just let me know. If you see anything you want a video on, let me know down below. Give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye guys.